All right. Well, hey team, it is Monday night again. Great to see you guys. It's Monday, July 14th. We're here for Team Time, our weekly connection. So good for community, for learning, for growth. And we've got like a jam-packed agenda. So I am excited. And we've been wanting to like just start out with something good, like tell us something good, celebrate a coach. So just wondering how your week has been, and anybody want to pop in with something to celebrate?
I'll go if you want me to, Dee.
Okay.
Today, first of all, today is my 9-year coach anniversary. I started coaching 9 years ago today. I can't believe it. It's been absolutely fantastic. Just real quick, I had a couple wins I shared with Dee earlier today on our call. First one, we moved and I'm trying to get out and organically kind of meet people and, a friend of mine on Facebook and that sort of thing. And so a friend of mine that I met working out reached out. We were leaving class the other day and reached out, and she's like, "I put a heart on your Facebook post about your red, white, and burn challenge." And I was like, "Oh, great!" And she said, "I'd really like to know more about it." Sent her the health assessment, and we talked last week, and she seems very interested. And I followed up with her today, and she's still trying to get over the packaged food thing, but I think we can work through all that. I was very excited about that because I haven't actually had a health assessment in quite a while. So I was very happy. And then the second one, somebody in the neighborhood posted on our neighborhood Facebook group that they were looking to start a Biggest Loser contest. I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. She lives down the street from me. So I reached out to her and I said, I don't know if you know this, but I'm a health coach and I'd love to partner up with you and collaborate and see, if I can help people. I'll be happy to share tips and recipes and that sort of thing. We'll see where that goes too. And so I'm excited about both of those things.
Yay. So awesome. Great job, like sharing about the challenge. Speaking of that, we have 33 participants in our Red, White, and Burn challenge. So that is a good thing. 10 of which are you guys of coaches, which I'm thrilled about that you're continuing to take the lead with your own health, move forward. But we've got the others. There's daily post in the Facebook group. So we're hoping that that will stimulate activity, stimulate interaction. So registration is still open. If somebody wants to join in, if you want to join in that challenge, it's still open. People can join in at any point with that. And I did post today the spreadsheet with who's registered. So if you have people, you do want to make a connection with them, schedule, because one of the requirements is that they have do a weekly call with you. And then I forgot to announce it today, but are asking them to listen to the Monday night call or to the podcast. And I was reminded earlier that tonight is Dr. A. Dr. A is going to be on with the Mills. So if you want, take a second, text your clients and encourage them to be on, especially if you know that they're in the challenge. You can do that during this call. So good. Anybody else have anything they want to share? Just tell me something good. All right. Well, lots of you
I have,
guys. Oh,
sorry.
go, Casey. Yeah.
It took me a second to unmute and start my
Yeah.
video. I didn't realize my video wasn't on. Um, just over the past week, doing client calls with Trina, and practice calls. My husband was listening to everything I was saying, and I've been on plan and off plan over the past few years. And at the end of our road trip, he goes, "I want to get on plan." I was like, "So he's finally, yeah. So he's starting in 2 days on plan. So I'm so excited." So I'm excited for his
Wow.
health, and then he's going to also be impacting his workforce probably. So he's a leader of many men who need to get healthy. So I'm excited to see where this goes. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
super exciting.
And I'm
That,
excited about my
yeah.
new coach, Trina, who's on here tonight. I'm so proud of her for taking the leap. So,
Yeah, we're going to talk about that a little bit into the
okay.
call. Get so
Mhm.
excited and so glad you offered coaching. And
Mhm.
now you've got that, I call that secondhand health when the family members are listening and they want to
Mhm.
get involved. So that's exciting,
Yeah.
Casey. Really good. Really good. Um, well, we're going to recognize you guys have really jumped in with the certification. But Meg, you want to kind of take it here? Because I know that you're juggling 10,000 things like other people might be on the call, not sure how they can get this certification done.
Y'all, this certification, I was a little overwhelmed when I first heard, like, it's 2 hours, whatever. But so I was like, okay, what do we know, right? How do we eat an elephant one bite at a time? So I said, you know what? I'm going to see if I can do 25 questions. So heads up, there's 150 questions total in the exam. And so I said, you know what? I'm just going to do 25 questions a day. So I did 25 a day, and it became a game, and I wanted to do more than 25. And like 2.5 days later, the whole certification was done. And y'all, I learned so much. And if you have any way to have two screens or a phone and whatever, I had the test going on one screen, and on the other screen, I was like, kind of looking up things and whatnot. And man, I learned things. I relearned things that I've had forgotten about. There's so many good nuggets in there that really got me excited about what's in the life book and reinvigorated. So just wanted to share my little tip on 25 questions a day because it really helped me. And I'm really glad that I took it, that it's behind me, that I don't have to think about it anymore. And if you haven't heard, it helps you to be eligible for the leads pool. So we do recommend that you go ahead and just get it done. So, and get it done now while you can be in Dee's drawing, because I don't know about you, but I like to win free things. So
Yeah. That is awesome. Yeah. So the certification, you guys, and actually, my understanding is there will be a new like we have to recertify every single year. So that will be a certification. It's required before your business renewal, but what's really intended is if you are an actively engaged coach like you are here, like go ahead and get certified, because like Vicky Meister, you were saying, like it helps you to realize how much is out there, the resources we have in Coach Answers. So it should be reassuring to you, like not to get overwhelmed with the different things that are being offered, but like, hey, all the resources are out there. And on this exam, you don't have to memorize anything. They actually tell you on each question where the resource is, which is pretty amazing. So let me just share real quick. We've been doing individual recognitions, but I'm super proud of our team just taking the lead here and getting certified. Can you guys see my screen here? The newly certified coaches. All right. So I just put them in alphabetical order, not in ranking who did it first. But so shout out to Beth, Caitlin Campbell, Frank and Shauna, who are on this call, Casey, who's on the call, Vicki Feldman, Barbara Frost, Meg, myself, Michelle Labby, Gina, Kelly, Vicki, Debbie. So if I missed you, let me know, but that's who I have recorded so far. So well done for being the excellent leaders that you are. And one of the things I was telling the group before, and you're always welcome. I do open up my Zoom room at 7 o'clock. It's just an interactive, like what was that in college? Like office hours, you can just drop in, ask questions, get community, etc. But this certification was the first one that I saw really tied in the life book. Everything else has been very product driven and program driven, and this tied in the mindset and the habit change, which is really what sets us apart in the marketplace. So I really love that Optavia is embracing that and making it a part of our requirement that we understand that when we're out and we're coaching others. So, so that is good. And then this Saturday is basically National Convention Saturday. So I asked Gina Manley to pop in here and share a little bit about the Optavia Impact event.
So, just a little story for those of you who don't know me. I started coaching in October of 2018, and my first live event was convention in Orlando in 2019. And I got in a car with a few people, Diane Nix being one of them, and we drove to Orlando, and I had no idea what I was in for. I'd never done anything like that. It was crazy. I mean, there were, I don't know, 10, 15,000 people. I had no idea Optavia was as big as it was, the impact, the lives, it was incredible. And I made it a point that I showed up for any in-person event, even ones that I qualified for that were not like a national convention that required travel, because there's always something you can take away. So this event on Friday is our convention this year, basically. But you hear, when you're a new coach, it's really amazing when you hear the stories, not just the physical transformation, But the coaching transformation, a lot of these coaches out there and the businesses they've built and the coaches they've mentored and they've helped, because it all impacts us all. And it's really, it's always so great. Dr. A is always involved in it, and hearing him live is a treat. But there's always something you're going to hear, and you may have heard it before in any one of the trainings, coming here at night, anything you're picking up an Optavia Learn, but you hear it differently every time you hear it in person. And so this impact this weekend is for us, and it's a way for us to make an impact for others. So if you haven't registered, you have until the end of Friday to do it. Please register. You won't be disappointed. And there's something about seeing it live that makes a difference, but you're going to get the recording too. So you can go back and re-listen to things that maybe you want to hone in on. Dee's actually doing a little watch party at her home. So if you're in the Southeast and getting in your car and coming to Atlanta is easy, please join us. My husband's knee replacement was rescheduled for the 3rd time. So if you need a place to stay, you can stay here, but we'd love to have you.
That is awesome, Gina. I'm so glad you're able to come now that it's been rescheduled. That's so great. So just to clarify, you can register up until Friday evening. The event is on Saturday and it is virtual. We would love, love, love if you are anywhere in the Southeast, like Gina said, for you to come and show up at Dee's house. And her house is awesome, so it'll be so much fun. But if not, join us virtually. These events always leave us fired up. They show us what's possible. They give us new tools. So good. And then you hear the stories, and that's why we're here, right? Because Optavia impacted us and we want to help to impact other people, which leads us to our next segment, which is where we are going to introduce our new coaches. So we are so excited. Casey and Trina are both on. Casey, do you want to come off mute and introduce Trina for everybody?
Hey guys, yes, I can. So, Trina, I'm so excited for her to start coaching and to just experience the positive impact that she's going to make on others and on herself during that process. So, Trina, I'm going to let you take it away and share your story. Oh, I'm so sorry. Lots of kids in the car. Okay, there you go, Trina.
Hi, my name is Trina Finley, and I'm so excited to get started. I joined Optavia about a year ago. I'm recently retired from the education system for 32 years. I taught high school math and I was a media specialist. And so for a good few years, I've been not taking care of myself. I've been stress eating and just not putting my health before everything else. And so I knew with my retirement that I wanted to do something to get healthy again and put my health first. And a friend of mine introduced me to Optavia. And Optavia gave me the structure that I needed to get started, but it also allowed me the flexibility to start the program while working. And because the fuelings were really easy for me to incorporate into my busy work schedule, and the support from my coach and the community helped keep me so accountable, and it helped me sustain my weight loss journey. But it wasn't just about the losing weight. It was more about like gaining the confidence and the better habits and just the renewed sense of purpose that I felt throughout this whole year. And I felt that I was more present with my family and more energized, and I just felt better in my own body. And so as I continued this year, I just kept thinking about, well, I'm retiring. This may be a good time for me to think about coaching. And it was just such a natural next step for me, being an educator. And so I'm just really excited about coaching to help with guidance and support and encouragement, and just wanting to make these lasting changes in other people's lives too. Because I know the journey, and things, even when I talk to people about Optavia, they think it's just about the weight loss. And I say it's not really about just the weight loss. It's the whole transition and creating those little habits and making such huge lifestyle changes so that you won't go back to the way you were. And it just gives you this lifelong, like I did the test today and it kept talking about the blueprint and how the books are the blueprint and how it helps guide you through the whole process. And so I'm just really excited about sharing that with other people.
So incredible, Trina. We are so glad that you are part of our team. It feels like you should have always been here. So you just fit right in. Your heart is beautiful, and we're excited to see the people whose lives you change. So thanks for being here and saying yes. All right, Frank, I know you've got some people to introduce too. So over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Meg. So Sean and I recently brought on a couple new coaches, and they're both on here tonight. I'm not going to steal their thunder. I'll let them introduce themselves, tell a little bit about how much weight they lost, what they do for a living, why they stepped into coaching, and what they hope coaching will do for them. So in no particular order, I'll let Dr. Muhammad Ali Rafai go first. I call him Ali, and we talk every week. And take it away, come off mute. Ali, share for a couple minutes.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you for inviting me. I've been with the Optavia program since October 2024. I'm a psychiatrist. I'm also an internist, and I've been in practice for 25 years. Since joining the Optavia program that I was introduced to Frank through actually LinkedIn. I've lost 70 pounds now, and I'm excited. It's a great change for me. I've always struggled with weight throughout my life, but I think that this program, and I know I'm a physician, I'm a psychiatrist. The behavioral principles that are with the life book and with the program are really something that can impact individuals. It has certainly impacted me, and I'm joining the coaching because I feel that it can impact my patients, it can impact others. And so I approached Frank a few weeks ago about joining as a coach. To provide that opportunity for my patients, for my community, for others. And I'm excited to be part of the coaching community.
Awesome. Great share, Ali. And Ali is also pretty humble, but in addition to being a physician, a psychiatrist, an internist, he's also a podcaster. He's also an author. He's taking a course right now in motivational speaking and TED Talk through a world-renowned speaker out in Salt Lake City. He's a busy guy. And when we were talking initially about, why do you want to step into coaching? Obviously, he wants to help patients and family members, but he said, I just want to do more. Like, oh my gosh, he wants to do more and he wants to increase his revenue stream. So we're excited to have you on board, Ali. Stick around for about another 10 minutes and listen to the other speakers here. So the next guy I want to introduce, again, has been a client for a while, great client, done very well, and I won't steal his thunder. But if you could, Nate, come off mute, tell me a little bit about who you are, what you do, a little bit about your family, why you stepped into coaching, and what do you hope coaching will do for you. So come off mute, Nate.
All right. Thanks, Frank. I appreciate that. Hey, everybody. I'm Nate Ussery, former law enforcement, currently construction. I started, Frank and I met I found Frank on LinkedIn years ago when I was started construction. And I started the program with him, but then I kind of got off of it. I quit. And I think kind of deep down, I just wasn't ready. And then last September, I contacted him back and started back on the program. And I was 338 pounds, and now I'm 270. And in that time, I went from a 9.8 A1C down to 3.2 now on A1C. So I'm off all my medication, thankfully. It's been a tremendous change. It's been incredible, and it's just exhilarating. And I'm a different person. I feel like a different person. And, just for me and for my family. And Frank and I talked about coaching, and I finally decided to be a coach because I want to help other people. I want to help other people experience what I have. And more than that, I want to be able to coach my family and my kids and my grandkids, and making sure that, that they've learned what I've learned. And, we talk about the life book and we talk about losing weight, but that life book, it does help if you pay attention, bring a balance. And I'm thankful for that. So looking forward to coaching, looking forward to the journey. And I really appreciate everything from Frank and Shauna. And I think that's about it for me.
Great. Thank you, Nate.
Awesome. Oh, go ahead, Frank.
Oh, I was just going to say thank you, Nate. And, both these clients, both Nate and Allie, been just model clients, and I'm thrilled to have them as coaches. And Shauna's helped a lot too, because a lot of times I can't do my check-in calls. Shauna's Johnny on the spot with that. So they both know Shauna, and I really appreciate it. Thank you. Back to you, Dee.
All right, and we'll be coming back to you, Frank. Yeah, it shows power of teamwork with Shauna and Frank. So that is awesome. But yeah, so welcome you guys. And man, I mean, I don't know that I could have spoken so well on my first day, my first intro on coaching to a group like this. So congratulations. And I hope as a team, like, isn't it fun, the excitement when we hear from some, from individuals that are doing well with the program, that want to pay it forward. Each one had kind of a different twist on why they were doing it as well, right? From Trina being a former educator, now in this season of life, makes sense to take care of her, then pay it forward, but using those skills she has, but doing something different. From Dr. Ali with all this medical background, taking care of himself, and then wanting to make a greater impact and do more. And then to Nate, who, again, right, when our clients come back, welcome them, and who knows, they might be better ready for the program and for coaching. And wanting to inspire and model for others and his family. So that is why, offering and sponsoring and offering coaching is something that we sometimes get scared of. Like, we think, well, geez, is that going to be weird if I'm offering them coaching, or do I know enough? Could I help them? But every one of us on this call, coaching has changed our life in some way. And we probably each stepped into it with a different vision than how it's landed, because we were exposed to more when we came into it. But it is so critical to be thinking about your clients and even other people in your world. Like, I'm so grateful that Dr. Skardassis thought about me for coaching and approached me when I knew nothing about Optavia, approached me for coaching, not about the program, because I was actually already in a pretty healthy place. So, Frank, I know you've spent a lot of time working on, you've always been one to sponsor, but really refining what really makes a difference when we're talking to individuals and having true conversations with them about the benefits of coaching. So I just wanted to ask you to share for a little bit.
Yeah. So, as you know, Dee and Shauna and I've always treated Optavia like a business, and doesn't mean other people need to. Some people want to treat it like a hobby or have it as a hobby, some just occasional, but we treat it as a business. And that goes right back to that new certification. Most occupations, you have to either recertify or renew your license. I worked in cardiac surgery for 20 years, and I still renew my license. In fact, it's due for renewal next month. So coach certification is nothing different if you treat it like a business. It's just renewing your license every year, if you will. But I understood the impact of coaching early on. Sean and I brought on a lot of coaches. Some I've talked into it, and some have talked themselves into it. And as coaches, what are we predominantly? We're problem solvers, right? When a client comes to us, they want us to solve their problem. And in most cases, it's what? Weight loss. Sometimes it's emotional eating or, developing some good habits around that. Now, we're not therapists, we're not counselors, we're not nurses or physicians in most cases. And even if we are, like Dr. Allie's a physician, Dr. Lynette over here, she holds a doctorate in nursing. So, that's another hat we would wear when we talk to those people. but all people come to us with a problem. And with coaching, as I'm talking to my clients, I'm simply identifying a problem that they have in their life. And when I'm talking to them, I make little notes in my check-in call note sheets. And if they say, you know, they hate their job, or they don't have enough money, or they wish they had more time with their kids or their grandkids, to me, those are problems, and I start writing those down. I don't jump on them that night. So if I'm talking to them, they say, oh, I wish I had, you know, I wish I could do what you did. I don't say, great, let's sign up for coaching. I just make a little note, and I'll come back to that maybe next week or the week after. And then I'll say something like, you know, a couple weeks ago, you mentioned, you know, finances was a concern, or you wish you could wait, you know, figure out a way to pay for your kids' college, or whatever it may be, their problem. I'll say something like, would you be open to a deeper dive into conversation about coaching? And that's all it is. Would you be open? Would you be open to a deeper dive about coaching? I rarely ask anybody if they're interested, because people don't like to say, are you interested or you're not interested? I like to say open. Open to me is much more gentler. So I like to say, are you open to a conversation about coaching? And then I also like to take advantage of the resources. Both Allie and Nate, they both attended a Coach Explore Zoom call, I think about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And that Dr. Goff was on, Dr. JC Dornick was on. And in that particular call, I was on live too. I mean, I wasn't a speaker, I attended live. And they talked a lot about income. And, you know, all the disclaimers, but one of the incomes they mentioned, Dr. Goff was making $28,000 a month as a coach. They showed a screenshot of another coach making $58,000 a month. JC Dornick said he replaced his 7-figure chiropractic income as a coach. 7 figures. That's $1 million plus, right? He replaced that as a coach. So coaching is a business, and it can be a very viable, very lucrative business if you work it, if you stay consistent, if you do all the things. Okay. It's not pie in the sky. It's not get rich quick. But so I understand that income could solve a lot of problems. Being a coach could solve a lot of problems for a lot of people. And Shauna and I just share it a lot. We don't hit people over the head with it all the time, but we keep our radar open for problems in their life. And then we share it very gently. Are you open to a deeper dive? Are you open to a conversation about coaching? And then use the resources. And speaking of resources, tomorrow night, there's another Zoom call, Tuesday night, 8 o'clock Eastern time, called Real Talk on Coaching. Tiffany Howard is going to be leading that call. You got any clients that even expressed a hint about coaching? Invite them, and then remind them about 15 minutes before it starts. So that's it for me, Dee. I'm going to shoot it back to you. We got about 2 more minutes here. Or if anybody's got any questions about coaching, I can answer some of those.
Yeah, Frank, that was perfect, because our next segment is our no dumb questions. So if you have any questions about coaching or about the certification or anything, this is the time. This is going to be, we're going to spend a couple of minutes doing this before we wrap up. So raise your hand electronically if you can, or just pop off mute and ask away. There are no dumb questions.
Will the recording of this call be on the coach page, or will it be somewhere else accessible?
By this call, do you mean like what is happening right now?
The one we're having right now.
Yes, it will be on Coaches Opt for Change.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That was an easy no dumb question, Kelly. Thanks for easing that up for us. Any other questions anybody has? I feel like we need some Jeopardy music going on in the background. And as you're thinking of it, one question I have heard is, where do I find the Optavia certification? I know we've talked about it a lot, the certification in general, right? How great it is, how great the knowledge is. You go into Optavia Connect and into the Learn section. You can start and stop that exam as many times as you want. I just left mine open and came to it, you know, whenever I had a few minutes. And so you could leave it open if you want, stop and start if you want, whatever the case may be. And just want to give one more moment out for any questions. If not, we're going to wrap it up.
I have a question about how do people who have other jobs juggle kind of the startup phase of being a coach, and how do they kind of introduce that into their schedule and just ease it in? I know definitely people just don't stop working and then become coaches full time, but is there a ramp up schedule? Is there?
Yeah, that's a great question. That's a great question. Well, and that might be something we can even do a whole call on. I'll say one of my favorite stories is from a nurse practitioner who was working full time, and she grew an integrated national business during her lunch break and after hours in about 12 hours a week, because that's what she had. So I think it depends on what your goals are. And what your dreams are for your business. And so definitely your mentorship line can help you figure out what that would look like. But you're right, in the beginning, it is it takes more time, right? As you're doing all of the share calls and talking to everybody on their day 1 through 4. So it definitely takes more time in the beginning as you ramp up. But that is a great question that we can certainly address in a call. And I see that it is 8:01. I don't want to take any time away from Dr. A. So go to Dr. A's call, the new client call, text a client, invite them, and we will see you here next week. Have a great one.